getting outside, and I had almost forgotten what outside looked like, what it smelled like, what it felt like to have like fresh air hitting your skin. And when the light hit my eyes for the first time, like I had to take a minute or two to readjust, because I had forgotten what sunlight looked like or felt like, or how your eyes readjust from one atmosphere to the next. To anyone who is either considering transporting drugs or even taking drugs, take a minute and see outside of the box. Don't be impulsive in thinking that money is going to solve your problems, because as much as you might think that money will solve your problems, it definitely won't. What I've learned, especially from my jail experiences, it takes away from your confidence. It takes away from your self-worth. I mean, how you feel as a person. From MDC to Danbury was a trip and a half, all right? Exactly, if you ever see the movie Con Air, that's exactly what it is. They bring you to a transferring depot, the airdrome, right? And literally you have planes and buses all around of prisoners just being commuted and transferred. And in the middle of this airdrome, you could literally hear a pin drop. You're warned from the minute you get there, from your left, which part you come from, don't even breathe. You understand? Don't move, don't shift, don't look like you're bummy. And I was like, why? This when I look around the peripheral, there are snipers just waiting for somebody to make a wrong move just to take you off. Move if you're bad. And you're looking at husky men, you know what I mean? Who you can tell been doing some hard time and everybody doing the shuffle, And I'm standing up there and I'm saying, Jesus Christ, damn. I saw a Marine standing up looking at the cookies with a cup by her head. And I'm guessing it was some warm eggnog, right? I should just now move. And we're done singing with Christmas carol and rare and thing. And when I go back and I pray the vibes, I see Marines that the same way. I say, Marine, want to my girl, alright? Marine say, Kiki, don't laugh, but I can't move. I said, Marine, what do you mean I can't move? She said, I don't know. I just stand up and I look on the cookie them and I just start miss me youth star and I just can't move. And as funny as it was for a split second, you realize what the hell is about to happen, and so said, so done. You understand? I couldn't move, or I said, Marine, move before them start pray a certain way, You understand? By that time, somebody don't tell them already, say, she can't move, you understand? By the next thing, them draw down pan her for go give her medication, the next thing, Marine missing in action. When she came back from wherever she disappeared from, she was very somber, very solemn, in comparison to how she was before. She met up with some Jamaicans, decided to invite them into her home so them could have chill, and stuff. And only to realize that they were involved in drugs. A man started pursuing her, because he was an FBI agent undercover, just waiting for them. That par with her, pre what them are doing in her house. She not even didn't know how much gun and money in her house. And they gave her 15 years. I remember when as ending, my time, maybe 2 weeks ago, you're excited and stuff. I remember one day walking past one of the units them, and I hear a blood hurt, curdling scream. Mommy was, yo, lock it down, and stuff. They're going to deport somebody back to Cuba or one of them Spanish country there, and them not have nothing to go back home to. If them go back home, are dead, them are dead literally. You understand? Because that's the things set up in a Fidem island or country where the drug trade is concerned and stuff. Are dead, the BI got dead. So she doesn't want to leave. She was put on cleaning duties or something, and decides to take a razor and razor another girl because the girl was bothering her. Just chop her up with a razor. Just so she could get more time to stay, because she don't have nothing to go back home to. My girl, me I come back home to something, Me don't know what, but me I come back home to something. They brought in again the snipers and the dogs to shake up the whole place, and of course they're housing us in an environment where you're not supposed to be mingling with these people. And I don't mean to be discriminating, but these are people who, I'm not there for murder, dude. Me never stab nobody, me never shoot nobody, me never maliciously take nobody's life. They brought us into this big old dorm, or this place of some sort, like a open cafeteria kind of setup, and everyone had to sit there with their hands on the desk, flat foot, looking straight ahead for 3 hours while they searched the entire dorm. And everything is going through my head. All right, Daddy just dead. I don't know if I'm going to go home to see him. All the memories, all the dreams, all the talks we're supposed to have. Did I tell him I loved him the last time? What in the world is this? Oh my goodness, You teach society how to treat you. So with you having all these personal issues, society might very well treat you the same way. And it's not as bad as you might think it is. I know you might not believe me, but it's not as bad as you think it is. And having gone through what I've gone through, it's been a challenge. But at the end of the day, you have to stay positive, think outside the box, ask for help if you need to. You know, think of other ways and means to try and survive, as opposed to just, you know, seeing it as a hustle. Also, for those who are transporting drugs, you have to also think about the lives of those who are actually taking the drugs. That's a very big deal, because when someone is hooked on drugs, it's a life that's wasted. You know, might as well hold a gun to them head and just kill them, because slowly but surely that's exactly what you're doing. Overall though, just, you know, don't give up, always stay positive, and know that there's a supreme being who's definitely going to guide you from once you reach out to, you know, to the higher forces. It hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm laying in my dad's room and my dad is dead. Like, where'd he go? You know what I mean? Like, who else am I going to talk to? Who else is going to keep me safe? You understand? My whole world feels like it's turning upside down. You know, where is daddy? You know, kind of thing. And I just started, I lost interest. I lost interest in work. I lost interest in myself. You know, I mean, I cut off my hair. My eyebrows look like you could plant corn in them. You know, I just didn't care anymore. 2 big boxes of Matahan cigarette, you know, boxes. I was just smoking around the clock, and every time I lit up, I'd think of my father, which was just the weirdest thing. And every time I lit up, I'd pray. You know, I was smoking like there's no tomorrow, man. And then I just walked in one day and resigned my job, and everybody thought I was crazy. My boss was like, what? Because now my boss is thinking, I've given you this opportunity, and people tend to do that too. Once they realize that there's something there and they've given you an opportunity, it's almost like, yeah, you kind of own them in some weird way. And it was with Music Plus that you know, I got my first official introduction to TV with this show called Island Threads. So you're working with like Kevin Lee, you're working with Rascasa, Trevor Bailey, Nordia Rose, you know, Dorset Blackwood, like people who their creativity, yo, you learn, say, as a, you know, working in media, if as you say, if you want an angle from up here, so, and somebody have to climb up on top and hit you on by their little finger for get the shot, them are gonna do it, and there's no complaints, no whining, no bitching. And if you have to explode, you explode, and after the shoot done, you and them are dupes again, no problem. So that was a great, you know, training ground. What I hope to achieve from sharing my story with the viewers is, number one, allowing people to free up in terms of the concept of accepting people who have made a mistake. You know, rehabilitation. You make a mistake, society tends to just scoff at you and want to put you down and keep you, you know, on a certain level. So sharing my story, it just shows that there's drive. From once you don't give up on yourself, there's always, you know, a brighter future. I would encourage anyone who's been through it to talk about it, because then it just sheds more light to the situation, and the more, you know, the more acknowledgement you give on issues, the more, you know, help it can possibly receive. You know, more things will be resolved, more help can be, you know, administered to those who really need it. So yeah, talk about it. It's a tricky thing, because you really have persons out there who believe that they can't get caught, and some persons won't. But at the end of the day, I mean, don't even take the chances, what I'm saying to you, because what you're going to lose is way more than you can even, you know, conceive. I think that's where the misconception comes from, because it's not about being caught, it's what you have to go through after being caught. So even if you think you can't get caught, when you do, what you have to endure is nothing at all that, you know, you could even fathom that it would be. It's there's no guarantees. I was lucky enough to have a place to live. I was lucky enough to have, you know, somebody looking out for me, and someone who was willing to give me employment when I needed it to survive, without being judgmental at all. And as Donovan Main and Brett Thwaites from TFS, they all gave me my opportunity to get back into the working field and start feeling human like again. And so thank you for that. But, you know, as I said, for those people who end up being deported and have nowhere to go, you know, you see them on the roadside, you probably see them with a suitcase or two, and everybody thinks for once you're on the road you're mad. And that's not really the case. You can either be a drug addict, or you might just very well be deported and just have nowhere else to go. So I mean, my heart goes out to those people, but I have to give thanks for where I'm at and for those who helped me to get here. So thank you.